record. Oh. All right. Peace, butterflies. Look at me here on a Monday at 7:30 on a dot. Okay? Because we're serious about this. I feel really good about being back with y'all. I'm very emotional because it's been 2 weeks and I had a little track record going on, and things happen, life happened, all good things, and now I'm back. So as you heard in the intro, my name is Imani the Superstar, and I am a singer-songwriter, a professional performer, and I am also a vocal coach by way of my business Sing With Me, where I provide throat chakra activation and balancing and voice healing, as well as vocal and voice lessons. And what else am I? Today, I am a show host of the Butterfly Experience podcast. We go live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. to, talk about different healing topics. So yes, I'm really excited to be here with you all. Like I said, it's been a minute, and today's topic can be looked at as, I was singing That's So Raven early. It can be looked at as a breeze, but when you get really deep into it, it's something that is a very deep topic, and something that I think we all need to talk about. I felt like it was very appropriate considering it is Sagittarius season and we're known for our passion. Also just considering the things that have been happening in life. So let's take a moment to grab our tea, grab our snacks, grab our things, put our phones on Do Not Disturb, and I'm going to send this to a couple friends that I think would like to see it while we do those things. All right, boom, 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 do, 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 done. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Passion. We're going to discuss a few things. One of them, I'll go through some of the topics that will be on the board for today. So we're going to define passion, the dictionary version, but also what it means to us. We're going to talk about what has influenced our understanding of passion, because a lot of times we feel like, we know what something means and we have an understanding of a theory or a belief system, but then we don't even realize how much society has played a huge part in how we look at it, how we approach it, how we understand it, what it means to us, if it feels possible. So we're going to really take a deep dive into what has influenced our understanding of passion, because is our understanding of it really coming from a place that's healthy? Is it yes or no? What coming up in the society in America, if you're here, because some people might be watching from all over the world, manifesting, period. But yeah, just what influenced it growing up. We'll also talk about what does it take to, yes, that's a good one. What it takes to cultivate said passion, and just the energy in general, not a specific one, but just again, passion in general. What does it take to cultivate it? So yeah, those are some of the things that we'll dive into. Let's get started. I always like to start this off with a butterfly backstory, just all the things that may have led up to me choosing this topic. And like I said, Sagittarius season is a huge part of it, because I've just been feeling I just feel in my element. I feel in my element after I feel like I've been going through a lot of, lessons and just feelings where I've felt passionate, but just maybe not as passionate as I could be, and also just not as confident as I could be. And I feel like Sag season has been giving me so many challenges, yes, and moments where I need to grow, and I'm feeling how my confidence can waver, but it's also at the same time been giving me so much proof and evidence about how strong I've been up until this point, and why I should have a lot of confidence. And I think I'd be sleeping on the amount of confidence that actually exists within me, and the amount of passion that actually exists within me. So yeah, I've been in that kind of flow of just especially me being a Sagittarius sun and moon. So shout out to my double sign babies, especially if you're Sag sun and moon like me. Just being in the flow of it, I've been feeling those emotions come up a lot more, where I'm just you know what, I believe in this, or I really want to do this, or I actually have something to say, and then saying it, or doing it, or believing in it, and doing what it takes to get to that point. So I'm trying to think if it's a specific thing that I want to talk about. Oh yes, the Butterfly Experience podcast. So if you're a returning butterfly to the garden, then and you're somebody who's consistent within the garden, then that it's been a couple weeks since I've actually gone live on time and just been present on social media in general on the Butterfly Experience podcast. And that's been due to several things, life just be happening. I recently, started working and just starting new projects, and just a whole lot of stuff in my personal life that has, influenced how consistent I've been, and I've just been readjusting to that. And so when it came to the Butterfly Experience podcast, which is something that I'm actually very passionate about, it was like wavering a little bit. And so I started to ask myself, as soon as I'm very hard on myself, so as soon as I start to waver or I make a mistake or I feel like I fall off, then I start to question myself, like question my passion, question my strength, question my confidence. And it's actually a very unfortunate process, but it is something that happens. So I had to revisit my beliefs around my beliefs around how I identify as a passionate person, as a confident person, as a fire sign. And it's so wild because before I had my little fall off, which I really never fell off, but like we could call it that just so we could, have a mutual understanding. But like before I had my little break or fell off just a little bit, I had to pivot or readjust. It's so wild because leading up to that point, it was so much watering the flower of the Butterfly Experience podcast, from different classes to me listening to other podcasts, to me having like kind of like a coaching session with people about like where to take this to the next level. With so many dope, amazing things happen. And then again, like this shift kind of just happened and, the momentum kind of just stopped. Oh, momentum. I like that word. Let me write that down real quick because for some reason that word feels like exactly what needs to be addressed with that. So give me a second. Let me just write that down. Momentum. I really like that. And I feel like that's going to come back up. But yeah, so again, just the momentum just changed a little bit. But yeah, so when I'm thinking about the Butterfly Experience podcast, it had me again questioning like my passion, questioning my path, questioning if this is really something that I wanted to do. All of those things when it's like, girl, it is something that you want to do. And also, I'll say this too, which is like off topic, but on. I'm a Sagittarius sun and moon, and I'm a Gemini rising. And I feel like my whole life, I've flip-flopped between things. Like I'll start something, get really passionate about it, and knowing me, I'll make a business out of it. And then I don't want to do it anymore. And then I'm like, I lose interest or my life shifts. So I feel like I can't prioritize it anymore. I feel like I don't want to prioritize it. And I feel like that's been a lot of my life. And I don't want that to be. I want to change that. I want to, see certain things through. And today I was definitely, having conversations and thought patterns that were just like, okay, because sometimes I'll be in a limbo of like, okay, I'm young. Like I'm in my early 20s, right? So I be wanting to give myself the space to just exist. Like you don't have to know exactly what you want to do. You don't have to know exactly what you want from life or like exactly what you want it to look like. But then at the same time, I be like, okay, but you do to an extent. And like we do need to be doing certain things. So I just find myself, especially lately, just like balancing that. Like, okay, do you want to be the type of person that like makes up your mind about what you want and then kind of like sticks to that and goes in that? Do you want to find a balance, or do you want to be the complete opposite and kind of let life continuously surprise you? And all three of those options come with a lot of different pros and cons, right? So again, I've just been like developing. And I think also when you think about it, like your brain isn't fully, so they say, your brain isn't fully developed until 25. So they've told us, or at least that area in your brain, right? So that's another thing I've been trying to keep in mind. Like literally on a biological level, like a physical level, I'm not even like, my brain isn't even fully developed yet. So there's only but so much pressure that I need to be putting on myself to an extent. But at the same time, you don't have to let that limit you and be like, oh, I could bullshit because my brain isn't fully, like I'm not trying to take it there either. So I've just been like thinking about it. And there's been a lot of things, and this is definitely going to be an episode that I feel like my 20-somethings can relate to for sure. But yeah, it's like finding that balance of like how much pressure you want to put on yourself to go a different direction. And like I said, it's been a lot of growing pains. Like I definitely started working recently in a different way. Like I'm always working, I'm always doing something, but I started a more structured job that is a little bit more demanding of my time and my energy and my expertise. And so that's been, a thing that's been happening, and it's been shaping me, molding me, forming me, and just developing me and opening my mind to to a different type of structure, because I've never had this type of structure before. So like a different type of structure, which has also, and again, that's that masculine energy, right? Masculine energy is so important and imperative because as much as people think it boxes you in, it actually, if it's balanced and it's healthy and it's well, it doesn't box you in. It gives you the support that you need in order to blossom, in order to grow. It's like the stem to the flower, right? So it actually gives you everything that you require to like open up and to expand, to explore. And so with this, new work life that journey that I've been on, it's like, okay, what is it opening me up to as an artist and just as a human being? How am I letting it affect me as a young adult? Because I've been an adult for some years now, you know what I'm saying? And as much as I've been an adult, I've operated. Peace, hi love. Oh, I think I was just talking about you. That's so wild. I'm so glad you're here. But yeah, just like think about my overall development and, really wanting time to sit back and look at that. And I took that time today, actually, while I was at work. I took that time to just, I had randomly, right? But nothing happens randomly. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, okay, I want to look up journal prompts because I was like, I just be wanting to write, and I was writing so much and I felt like I didn't know necessarily what I wanted to write about. I had made my list of 10 things I was grateful for, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to do now? So I looked up prompts for Sagittarians specifically, and I found this prompt that was asking me about it was like, what are you passionate? It was just asking about it was like, where have your passions or your fire as a Sagittarian, where has it got you to unexpectedly? And I was like, okay, where has my fire gotten me to unexpectedly? And that made me backtrack, like all the way from when I was a kid up until this point, this job that I'm working at, right? Because I am teaching. And so when I backed up, I'm like, how was my 15-year-old self got me this job? And I'm gonna explain to you how, and then we're gonna start to move through the topics of conversation for today. So I was thinking back and I was like, I was always the type of student. So I was in this program called the Village of Arts and Humanities when I was 15. And at the Village of Arts and Humanities, which is still up and running today, it's based in North Philly. They literally pay young people who are like high school and middle school students, they pay you to get better at whatever art form you're interested in. So if you're interested in singing, if you're interested in clay, dance, graphic design, website design, like they'll literally pay you bi-weekly to get better at that, right? And just complete certain assignments. So when I was 15, I was always getting to a bag when I was a young bull. But when I was 15, that's what I was doing. That's how I was getting to my bag. So I was clearly, studying singing and like music production or whatever the case may be. And I was always the type of student or intern or working person whatever you want to call it, who like, I didn't care about the bullshit that was going on around me. Like I really was passionate. Like I paid attention to what the teacher was saying. When they had guests, I was asking the guests questions. When it was a challenge, I was taking it. I was writing my bars. I was engineering, my tracks. I was studying the songs I needed to study. I was getting shit done, and I wasn't caring about nothing the fuck else. I was focused and I was passionate, and because of that, I was able to be chosen for certain opportunities outside of the village. On top of that, I was able to graduate. I eventually graduated from the village and was hired as a student teacher, and I did that for a couple years, and then I was hired as a lead teacher, and I did that for a few semesters, and then that same passion and focus and just desire and talent led me to starting my own practice, Sing With Me, where I coach people. I teach people vocal coaching and voice healing and performance coaching, which has led me to an open mic that I do monthly. And then all of those things are the reason I was able to get the job that I have now, because I have a track record, I have a resume, and also the natural talent. But on top of that, like the passion that I had when I was 15. Does that make sense? Like if it's connecting for you, let me know. Okay, cool. I see fire emojis bet. All right, so that means it's resonating. But that passion that I had when I was 15, where I wasn't giving a fuck about what other people was doing, and I wasn't getting distracted, and I was focused on what I was doing. That passion that I had when I was 15 is the reason that I'm able to do the job I'm doing today. And when I sat back and I thought about that, and God is so good, because God is the only reason I be able to do these certain messages, like the way my life be magically aligning. I'm so glad that I did that today, and I randomly felt the call to go look up that prompt, because it's like, and I've been saying this, I said this before, like the things that I did, the success I had when I was a teenager is really a lot of the reason I had the relationships and the success and, all of the blessings that I have now. It's almost like if you saved up so much money when you was a teenager that by the time you hit your mid-20s, you still living off your savings from when you was 15, 16, hustling. And that's how it feels. And that feels really good to me. It makes me really high five her and give her props and hug her and thank her, because if it wasn't for her, who's to say I would even be where I am today? So that's, of course, a good feeling, right? But then on top of that, it makes me think, and this is something I was talking about with my good friend Soraya Nicole, who was on here before, that makes me think like, and she was just reminding me like, you was really running shit at 16. So why do you think you lost that over the years, right? And that's why one of the things we're going to talk about today is like, when we fall off, we all of a sudden think we're not passionate about it anymore because we fell off. When life is complex and full of different, you have to, priorities vary over time, right? So like, we're going to get into that because I really want to pour life and love and power into the people who are questioning their passion and questioning if they deserve it and all of the other stuff. But anyway, back to the butterfly backstory. So it reminded me that like, if I had that passion at 15, what do I think I could do at the age I'm at now? Like, what's possible now? And let's throw the fact that we think it's done with or we lost it. Let's throw that out the window because that's just absolutely not true, sweetheart. So again, if I had that passion at 15, what do I think I can do now in my 20s? You're literally a success story, and it's refreshing because sometimes we got this idea of what success is, but really, if we look back to where we started, it would hit different. Yes, Ashe, couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, you're an endless reservoir of source. Ashe, couldn't have said it better. So yeah, like that's something those are the things that have led me up until this point of wanting to talk about passion. And I really just, pray that, source, God, the divine mother, she just moves through me, because I know that the people on here and that are listening, whether it's on Spotify, Instagram, whatever it is, I know that y'all really need to hear this. So let's get more into the topic that we've planned. So let's define passion. Before I even read it, if you want to type in what you feel like passion is and comment that, then feel free to do that. So what I said when I was writing this was to care about something, to long for it, and to almost feel a need for something. That's what passion seems like to me. Then I also said to commit to creating space, time, and high effort for something. That's passion to me. Now, mind you, this conversation reminds me, I'm going to get into the Google version, right? Excuse me. But this conversation kind of reminds me of when I've been asked for a few years by different people what I think love is. And I always get, not arguments, but like debates and conversations around unconditional love, because I don't feel like love is a feeling. Let's not debate about that right now. Just hear me out, because I want to relate it to passion. I don't feel like love is just a feeling. And I also don't feel like it's just this like passive thing. I feel like, could it be? Yeah, but I don't feel like that's ever really enough in the real world. So to me, love is an action and love is a choice. Can you always choose who you love? Maybe not. But if you choose and commit to who you want to become and healing and things like that, you can choose who you're attracted to and who attracts you. You know what I'm saying? And so that falls kind of into the love category. Again, on top of that, with me believing that love is action, you have to choose to show love. You have to choose to sacrifice. You have to choose to change. You have to choose to put yourself in position to receive. These are choices. And so when I think about love, I think about choice. And I know we've been breeded to think that, love is this passive thing, that if you love somebody, then everything just supposed to magically work out. I just personally don't believe that. And I've seen it in romantic relationships. I've seen it in platonic relationships, familiar relationships. I'm sorry, y'all. Something popped in my phone. And business relationships. So yeah, when it comes to how I'm relating that to passion, is part of passion to me is a choice. Choosing, we're going to get to this part, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but choosing to, again, all right, let me back up. There's two parts of it. It is a passive thing, but it has to be balanced. It's a passive and a proactive thing. And a choice. So it's both, right? So having that calling, that feeling, that need, that longing, and then doing something about it, that's passion to me. It is a marriage between the two. The same way that's what love is to me. It's a feeling, a desire, a lust, a this, a that, and then choosing to receive it, choosing to show up for it, choosing to change for it, choosing to compromise for it. That's how I feel like, passion and love relate. And that's why I feel like Sagittarians are just lit as fuck, because we are known for our passion. So what else you think we known for? You don't think we known for our love? Everybody try to make it like we struggle with commitment and this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, I can see how that comes up. But we are one of the most loving signs, because we're so passionate, and passion, it can be so related to and rooted in love. So that's just how I feel. It's funny, somebody just joined with their name is Virgo, and we over here talking about Sagittarius. Beyonce and JC. All right, anyway, so Google defines it as enthusiasm, eagerness, rage, which I find arguable, and desire. People always confuse love myself. Yes, and when we love our Aries, period. People a lot of times misunderstand, especially fire signs. They put rage and anger and temperamental and things like that. They put that in the passion category all the time. And I just would really love a conversation that just does not just doesn't talk about it in a certain way. Because the same way we could put rage and anger and temperament and all of that in the category of passion, we could put love. We could put creativity. We could put success. Shit, if you want to keep pushing a bar, pushing a bar. So yeah, those are things that I feel like that's how I've defined passion, and that's how Google defines passion. So the next thing is, let's really talk about what has influenced our understanding of passion. Because we, again, like I said in the beginning, a lot of times we have these theories and we have these systems of belief that are set up within our mental and within how we operate on a daily basis. And we think that because we think it's a thought that just came from us, or it's a belief that just came from us, completely disregarding how influential these systems are and this society is, right? So we could think we know what love is. We could think we know what the most dope fashion is, or we could think we know what respect is, or all of these things. But how much has our family influenced that? How much has our neighborhood influenced that? How much has our schooling influenced that? How much has the abuse we went through influenced that? You know what I'm saying? Or the media we consume, like how much are these things influencing it? So I really want to talk about what influences our understanding of passion, because again, some of the things that come up are like it's really people out here thinking that they're not passionate because they work 12 hours a day, come home and don't continue to teach themselves how to play the piano when they work let's say Monday to Saturday. And it's like, bro, you work 12 hours a day, 6 out of the 7 days you have, and because of that little time frame where you might be able to practice wellness or talk to your family or practice your passion or whatever it is, you think you're not passionate because you don't take the little bit of time you have and apply it to this thing. And I don't believe that that's true. So let's get into it. These are some of the things that I feel like genuinely influence our understanding of passion, and I want to also flesh out how. So one of the things that stuck out to me and that came up to me was poverty. I feel like poverty definitely influences our understanding of passion because through poverty, right, as the umbrella, it starts to bleed into like things like hustle culture, the millionaire trend. What else? And romanticizing shit. So again, umbrella is poverty. This is something that influences our understanding of passion, right? It's poverty. And then hustle culture comes right in to tell you what? Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, which is a racist theory, right? You always got I'm gonna take it there for 2 seconds. I'm gonna bring it back because some people want to talk about this shit and some people don't. But like, again, if we're talking about oppression and we talking about racism and the systems that were set up to oppress people of color, we have the whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps. If you was born in poverty, you should be a millionaire still. Mind you, keep in mind, I'm talking about hustle culture and the millionaire trend all wrapped in one under poverty, right? So it's like you should pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Oh, well, your mom was poor and your mom's mom was poor and your mom's mom was poor. You need to do it differently. And if you're not 25 and a millionaire, then you fucked up. Then you're not passionate enough. Then you don't have what it takes. And it's just like, not only do we lack financial literacy in our neighborhoods and, of sufficient support in our schooling and in our neighborhoods, things like that. But I don't want to talk about the things we lack too much because we are of God and source and our cup runneth over, okay, and infinitely. But yeah, I feel like people will consider themselves not passionate enough because they didn't break every generational curse possible by the age of 25. Or because they're not a millionaire by the age of like 25 or 21. It's getting lumpy. The age for when it's acceptable to be broke apparently is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. And there's all of this pressure. So I feel like that's false. And I feel like that's a very harmful myth. Just because you are not where you want to be at a certain point doesn't mean you're not passionate enough. And we have to think about how priorities vary. Life is complex and it is long. Your priorities are going to vary as you grow. Sometimes getting to a bag will be the fucking priority. There are going to be other times when your health is a priority. You can't get to the bag if you're dead. Let's start there. Or maybe there were times when you were going through growing pains. You were in relationships that were draining. You were in an environment that was abusive. Different shit like that. You didn't really have time or the resources to apply yourself to your passions because you had other things that were taking priority. Now, I'm not trying to say sometimes we haven't made fucked up decisions about what we made our priority. I'm not saying that. I've been there. I prioritized shit I wasn't supposed to be prioritizing. But at the same time, we have to, number one, practice grace, and we have to realize that sometimes our passion is not what's going to keep us alive in that moment. Sometimes working is going to keep you alive. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it's just a part of your journey. So you had to go you had to go through what you had to go through in order to have that part of your journey to become who you want to be. Is all of this making sense? Just let me know in the comment section if we riding with it. So yeah, I feel like, again, hustle culture, it values no rest. You shouldn't be sleeping. Millionaires don't sleep. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And no wellness. Don't nobody care about you taking care of your skin and the rising, girl. Don't nobody care about you taking a bath. Don't nobody care about you eating right. You better, listen, hurry up. Get to work early. Stop it, don't get no nuts. Don't nobody got time for you to make yourself a breakfast. Don't nobody have time for that. That's hustle culture. And romanticizing. I think we romanticize, not only do we romanticize the broke artist lifestyle, like, it's so romanticized. It's so cool to be like this independent artist who's like starving and like just not supported by anybody or anything, and it's like everything on my own. And it's not but media romanticizes that story, and so we kind of get caught up in that. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about what I've said so far? What do y'all think influences our understanding of passion? Again, I'll end it here. I feel like hustle culture influences what we think is passionate, and I feel like that's harmful. Poverty, again, like if your whole family was in poverty, oh well, you should be doing something different. And if you haven't made it, then you're not passionate enough. You're not applying yourself. I think the millionaire trend is harmful. Everybody don't want to be a millionaire, and that's okay. Some people are okay living in the middle of nowhere on a cottage, or working at a cafe, cute, having one kid and getting married, and that's what they do with their life, or opening a little restaurant, whatever it is. They don't want to be a chain joint, like McDonald's or Popeyes or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like it's room for everybody, and it's room for everything. And I think that we label people as not passionate when they're choosing something that doesn't seem as glamorous as what we're choosing. And I don't think that's okay. Moving on. Let's talk about how we know we're passionate about something. Okay, we're really good on time. Let's talk about how we know we're passionate. How do you know you're passionate? If there's all this confusion around what being passionate is and what it looks like and where it can get you, then how do you even know if you're passionate? How do you know if, real quick, I think comparison goes hand in hand with what you're talking about. People can feel like they're not they're not passionate enough because we're not getting the same results as someone else. That too. Comparison is not only the thief of joy, it's the thief of passion too. Because when you comparing yourself to somebody and like you said, you feel like you're not where they at, you be like, you know what, maybe I don't want to do this. Like I see this trend on Instagram all the time where it's like, if people weren't listening to your music, would you still make it? And I be asking myself that, and you damn right I would still make it. What? You know how many songs I have on SoundCloud that a lot of people don't even know about or are not playing, that are like my favorite shit ever, that I was happy I made, that I knew probably wouldn't pop, but I still put that shit out. Because it's what I love and it's what I'm passionate about and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole separate conversation. But yeah, I totally agree, Samaya. How do you know you're passionate about it? This is how I can tell. Because again, there's all these influences. There's all these stop and go moments, as we go through life, especially as people of color. So I feel like one of the telltale signs is you desire it. And if you fall off, it reignites. You think about it. Maybe you can't commit to it in a moment, but you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, it brings us back to that conversation of passive and proactive passion, right? And marrying between the two. So the desire is the passive part, So that's how you have that part. You have the passive part of it. If you desire it and it reignites when you fall off. I'm gonna finish this concept and then I'm gonna read what you said, Callie. So yeah, you desire it. That's the passive part of it. You sacrifice and discipline for it. That's the proactive part of it. Okay, so again, that marriage between the two, between the passive and the proactive. So like I have this feeling, now I'm starting to do something about this feeling. I'm willing to change for this feeling. I'm willing to grow for this feeling. I'm willing to commit for this feeling. You feel me? Boom. The other thing is, and this is like the next step after you've felt it, done something about it, and been doing something about it for a minute. Okay, track record, measuring your track record. You know what I'm saying? When I applied that to the Butterfly Experience podcast, I wanted to do it. I thought about it, when I was in college, and I started it, and then I fell off hella times. Like I was using a platform that actually deleted my whole first 2 seasons on Spotify. So like I was doing it in 2020. You know what I'm saying? 2021. Fell off or whatever like that, and then got back on. Because I had that desire, and then I started sacrificing for it. Okay, I know I want to go live every Monday at 7:30. I can't be out there doing this, that, and the third. Mondays at 7:30, I'm here. Period. Making sure I ate, making sure whatever that I need to make sure that I can be present. That's that proactive part of it, right? And now to the track record, we can look back. You can look on my page and see that I've been showing up. I had my little 2 weeks off. You know what I'm saying? I went live last week, but it wasn't on time, and it wasn't. I didn't flush it out. But looking at my track record, I went live for a month straight. Never did nothing for a month straight. consistently. So yeah, I went live every week for a month straight, every Monday at 7:30, if not Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? My niece was born, different shit like that happened where I had to like switch shit up a little bit. But yeah, I went live every Monday. So you start those are the 3 steps. You got that feeling, which is the passive part. You start doing something about the feeling, which is the proactive part, and then you can look back on shit. You can look back at your track record. That's how you know shit is working. I'll compare it to love again, or relationships, right? You got a feeling you like somebody. Okay, that's the passive part. That's easy. It's easy to be attracted to people. It's easy to like people, right? Boom. You do something about it. Not only do you pursue this person, but as you get, more connected, you might realize there's some traumas you gotta heal. You might realize there's some practices you gotta change, some shit you gotta shift in your life to make shit fit right, and it's benefiting you and a person. That's the proactive part. You look back, it's been 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and you continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, I don't know, marriage isn't for everybody. Maybe y'all married. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all own businesses together. Maybe y'all own property. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all done both, or it's individual shit. Maybe this person didn't help you, open up restaurants in multiple states, and you didn't help them beat their case or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. So track record. So again, the feeling is the passive part. Doing something about it is the proactive part. The track record is the part that you know is working. So now that I've made that point, let me read Kylie's. It's like a lingering in your soul that's always present, even though the journeys are always linear. The journeys are always linear. Your passion is calling or purpose. Sometimes something you are contracted to do in this life. Journeys aren't always linear. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I was like, I don't agree. Some block it out because of earthly interference, like you said, media, family, diet, etc. But it becomes clearer when you tap in or tune into yourself. Ashe, exactly, 100%. All right. So now that we've talked about that, we've talked about how do you know you're passionate about it? Let's talk about, do you still deserve it if you fall off? I'm gonna make this so quick because it's so fucking simple. Yes, you do. And I know everything in you, because of how you've internalized other people's bullshit and beliefs, everything in you wants to tell you that you don't deserve it because you fell off. So would you say that to a mother who became a mother in college and wants to go back to college? Would you tell her she don't deserve to graduate because she had to take time off to raise her kid? Would you tell her that? I don't think you would. Therefore, just because you fell off or had to falling off, people call a lot of, especially with this social media shit, people's idea of falling off is fucked up and it's harmful. You didn't fall off just because you had to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you did. Shit, own it. Maybe you did fall off. So fucking what? Are you gonna get up or are you gonna lay there? That's not rhetorical. Answer. Are you gonna get up or are you gonna lay there? Up to you. But we can't focus on taking our grace away. And that's where grace come in, which is a whole nother episode. Give yourself grace and cultivating that belief. It's like, for example, if you fighting and you getting hit, and we learned this from Creed or whatever case may be, right? And you keep getting hit, you don't lose the fight just because you keep getting hit. There's still a chance for you to get back up and fight again. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you can't tell yourself you don't deserve something just because you had to shift. Again, life is full and it's complex and priorities vary at different points. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But if you still feel that passive part of it and the passive part ain't done yet, just get proactive about it. I'm not saying just like it's easy, because it's not always easy, but get proactive about it. And then you still deserve that satisfaction. You deserve to look back and be like, you know what? I conquered. I'm still going. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Runners don't look backwards when they trying to run a certain mileage or length or whatever. They don't look backwards. They get to the finish line and be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't worry about certain shit or let certain shit come into their head and take them off of the journey. They keep going. We all have phases, ebbs and flows. Shit, the trees lose their leaves in the winter. What you gonna tell a tree? You don't deserve to have leaves in the springtime. You don't deserve to blossom in the summer. Fuck you. Stay bare. Fuck. We don't do that. We don't do that to nature. Why would you do that to yourself? It's not natural. All right. I tried to keep that short and sweet because I really want to get to the next part because it flows so well. What does it take to cultivate passion? We kind of already started this. Of course, it's the passive part, the feeling. The proactiveness is doing something about it, and then the track record, right? But these are 3 things that I really came up with that I feel like are just like core things that it takes. And feel free to let me know what you feel like it takes. One was sacrifice. And I feel like we take this shit too far. I feel like we take the concept of sacrificing for your passion too far. In my opinion, considering we talked about how hustle culture and poverty and the millionaire trend can influence our idea of what passion even is, I feel like sometimes we might sacrifice a little too much. And for some people, it's worked. I'm not going to sit up here and act like it's people who didn't fucking sell their soul for success And then and God, there's people that shit work for them. Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like it's people who didn't work full time and then apply their passion. It worked for them. That's not everybody's story, and it doesn't have to be, is all I'm saying. But it does take a certain level of sacrifice. I'm not going to sit up here and act like it doesn't, because that's something I'm learning now in my early 20s. I'm learning what that shit even means, and I think it'll change as I grow. So sacrifice parts of yourself that no longer serve who you're becoming. Sacrifice time. Maybe you can't go out and do the things you used to do all the time. I think you should still have fun. I'm big on still cut out time for fun. Maybe you change what your fun is. Maybe it's not going and spending. If you're trying to fix your credit and you want a budget, maybe it's not going out and getting drinks with the girls every goddamn Friday. Maybe it's one Friday out the month. And maybe you figure out, you know what, y'all come to my place. Everybody bring a bottle. I'll provide the space, the vibes, the scents, the snacks. On EBT, you know what I'm saying? Y'all bring the drinks. You know, whatever it is. Like, it's not that you got to stop having fun. I think sometimes it's just shifting. So again, sacrificing your time to follow certain shit and to fall in line with certain shit. So sacrifice is a big one. 2 is faith, God, prayers. So, and then faith also, faith is precious. You will not sustain faith if you're around niggas who don't have that shit. So I feel like faith is, that's something that came to me when I was writing about this earlier. Like, faith is precious. So like, if you have faith in it, you're going to protect it. Period. If you really believe in that shit, you're going to protect it. So don't be, having faith and then surrounding yourself by non-believers. That shit it's not going to work. And I'm not talking about a religious or spiritual belief. I'm just talking about believing in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you're around a bunch of people who don't believe in you or don't believe in better or whatever case may be, it's just more than likely not going to work. So again, first thing is sacrifice. Second thing is faith. And you also could cultivate your faith with prayer, with affirmations, with surrounding yourself by like-hearted people. This, that, therapy, life coaches, investing in yourself, practicing, exercising it, whatever it is, exercising the passion, exercising the lifestyle, whatever. The third thing is heart. And this is, all of these hit home for me, faith especially, and then heart is another one. You got to have heart. And when I say heart, I mean courage, truth, vulnerability, healing, all of those things fall under heart. Like you, for example, you could like somebody all day. If you don't have the I was gonna say balls. If you don't have the heart to go say something to them, what does it matter? You could like somebody all you want. You could feel like that person is supposed to be and you never say shit. What's the point? So you got to be courageous. You don't got to be fearless, but you got to be courageous. You got to be brave. You know what I'm saying? And I personally think that being courageous when you are afraid is even more powerful than being fearless to me, because I've been the underdog. I've been the afraid person. I've been all of these things, right? And then I've wanted to be fearless and this and the third, but that's not my journey. I have fear. I be scared of shit. I got anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be bitching about certain shit. But it's like, do I let that stop me? I choose not to. And that to me is very fucking powerful, right? So you got to have heart. Tell the fucking truth. Be honest with yourself. Is it what you want or is it not what you want? You know what I'm saying? Are you really passionate about it? There was a time I took a break from music because I had to figure out if I was actually passionate about it in the sense of it being a career. You feel me? I am. Clearly, to this day and forever. We locked in for life. Vulnerability and healing. Like, you have to cultivate your passion truly, because I feel like your passion is meant to change you and it's meant to bless you, and it's the gift that keeps on giving to you and to others for lifetimes, right? So I feel like you have to, if that's the case, it's going to grow with you, but you have to be willing to grow, and part of growth is healing always. So those are the things I think it takes: sacrifice, faith, heart, and healing. Last thing, Nicki Minaj has this quote: "If it's really your passion, would you give the world for that?" And I didn't write anything about it. I just wrote that as a quote. And I've tumbled over it the past couple of weeks about how I feel about that statement, because I always argue that no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't give my entire world for my passion, because there are things in my world that are important to me. I wouldn't sell out a family member for my passion. I wouldn't sell my soul for my passion. I wouldn't change who I am at my core for my passion. I wouldn't. And I think that there's people who would, and that's their journey. That's none of my goddamn business. But me personally, I wouldn't give my entire world. And it's crazy because Nicki's a Sag, and I like to consider myself a Barb, even though some people don't think that I am. But yeah, I like to consider myself a Barb. So I agree with a lot of the things that, she says, and especially in her music. But I had to ask myself that, and I don't think that I would, and I don't think I have to. And that's the point. I don't think I have to. I think that my passions, plural, are a part of my world. I don't have to give up certain shit I don't have to give up all of myself or all of what I believe in, or all, because it aligns. When it aligns, you don't got to do that. Mind you, I don't think she meant it like that. I think she was talking about, again, Are you willing to make certain sacrifices? And I am. I just was taking her line and like painting in a different picture to kind of make a point. But ultimately, knowing Nicki Minaj, I don't know her personally, but like as a Sag, to a Sag, as somebody who listens to her music and has been listening to her music for years and allowing it to elevate me in so many different ways, I feel like she's just asking you, are you willing to change and grow for your passion? Are you willing to bet on yourself? Are you willing to believe in yourself? That's what I feel like she's saying. And you got to answer those questions. And you won't answer them questions from the couch. Metaphorically. I'm not saying physically. I mean, yeah, physically too. Some people can make their living from a couch. But I'm saying like metaphorically, like if you just sitting back being passive. Because again, we talked about it. You could like something all day. You could want something all day. What you doing about it though? Passion as a young teen to now. I already talked about that. So, yeah. My intention with this episode was to remind you that you have a fire inside of you. That's my main thing. You have a fire inside of you, and it's your choice what you do with it. You have a fire inside of you, and it's your choice what you do with it. Period. And it's always gonna be your choice. And it's so I have so many intentions with this. It's never too late. And you have to decide if you're going to take your opportunity from yourself. You have to decide if you're going to rob yourself of grace, if you're going to rob yourself of love, if you're going to rob yourself of resources or lie to yourself. Or you're going to literally lie to yourself about who you are. How many of us go through these deafening, insecure voices, right? And they be lying and we be believing them for a minute to the point where it affects how we operate. Like, you don't believe you look good in that outfit? That's a lie. A lie. You don't believe you'll be good at that job or with that career? That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a fucking liar. Like, it's lying. It's a lie. You know? And people say the truth is objective, and I think it is at this point, because it's so many things that be truths that be given to us as truths. Like, it's true Christopher Columbus was like, fuck, lies. How much of that shit of that you believe in or that you allowing to influence how you operate is a lie? You are passionate. You can train yourself to believe in yourself. I'm not telling y'all this because I ain't been through it, or I'm not doing it or working on it right now. You can train yourself to believe in yourself. You can choose. Y'all see my lip gloss doing that white shit? But yeah, you're passionate. I think you just need to give yourself the time and the space to reconnect with that passion and to show yourself what you can do. Because you can do it all. Very well. You can do a lot. There's a lot of things that you can do that you need to give yourself space and time to do. And again, I'm in this with y'all. I'm not talking about it because I'm always speaking to myself at the same time that I'm speaking to y'all. So what are you passionate about? What are you truly passionate about? What do you really want? And what you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? And be gracious with yourself. Be loving, be kind, be gentle to an extent. But also be aggressive, be proactive. Take responsibility and accountability for the fire that you have inside of you, because it's a gift. And it was gifted to you. And I'm saying the same thing for myself. Like, what the hell? That's my take on passion. I'll tell y'all what I'm passionate about. And if you would like to share what you're passionate about, feel free. I'm passionate about the Butterfly Experience podcast. I'm passionate about it. I love the way it makes me feel. I love what it does for other people, how it serves other people. I love watching all the content that I create. I love, posting on Spotify, and I love that people listen. I love getting feedback. I love the Butterfly Experience podcast. I'm passionate about turning it into more than just this. I love this. Oh, y'all see my cards? I did my cards again. I'm proud of where I am right now, presently. But I want more. I want to do retreats. I want to do panel discussions. I want to have a larger audience. I want thousands and millions and billions of people listening to the Butterfly Experience podcast, because I believe in the value of what I do. And I know I'm good at it. And I'm cute. The fuck? I'm passionate about my music. I feel like I'm literally the greatest artist I know. Literally. So I'm passionate about putting my music out. I'm passionate about rollouts. I'm passionate about the marketing behind it. I'm passionate about branding myself to the highest quality that I can, and I attract people and resources that help me do such. I'm passionate about looking good every day. And I lost that a little bit, but I'm passionate about that shit. I like being cute every day. Camera ready every day. I'm passionate about my health. And I fall off. That's a big one. I fall off from that a lot. But it doesn't mean I'm not passionate about it. It doesn't mean I don't deserve it either. I deserve it. And I deserve to reignite that passion. Passion can be reignited. Don't be going and reigniting passions with people you ain't supposed to be reigniting passions with. But outside of that, reignite all you need. But yeah, I'm passionate about my spiritual growth. I'm passionate about tapping into my manifestation powers. I'm passionate about being kind to people. I lose that sometimes too. I'm passionate about being kind to people and learning a balance between like the chip on my shoulder and my big heart. How do I balance that? And how do I successfully build upon my relationships with that balance? I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about learning how to use my voice to advocate for myself in a way that genuinely feels peaceful to me, even if it means I burn the shit down. I want it to be something I can stand on. If I burnt that shit down, I want to be able to stand on it and feel peace within myself after I burn some shit down, as it says. I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about a few of my relationships presently right now. I'm passionate about the relationship I have with myself. I'm passionate about the relationship a few of my friendships. You know what I'm saying? I'm passionate about some of my familial relationships. Passionate about all of that. But right now, the main passion I want to talk about is career. It is career. It's career and how you're impacting the world. That was one of the prompts that I got when I was looking up prompts for Sagittarians. What are you here? How are you here to change the world? What change are you here to bring to the world? I'll read y'all what I wrote and then we can go. Y'all ain't see that. I fucked up my hair and everything trying to sit the fuck back down. Alright. So. Okay. So, what changes are you here to bring to the world? I wrote, I am here to change and improve the way people see music artists and inspire folks to be the best performers they can be. I'm also here to shed light on how people can go about their journey and the happenings that can occur while they grow. I'm here to change the way people feel about being up and coming underdogs, winning and taking L's. I'm here to show people that strength and self-transformation is possible. I'm here to show people what faith is. Those are just a few things. Yeah, I want to also leave y'all with this question that it was asking me. Has your natural fire sign enthusiasm ever led to anything unexpectedly good? Describe it. Again, has your natural fire sign enthusiasm ever led you to anything unexpectedly good? Describe it. And it's, where I am today is unexpectedly good. I knew I'd be good, but I'm saying it takes so much work to get this hairstyle back to what I want it to be. So it's just gonna stay like this now. Whatever. But yeah, so that's what I have for y'all today. And prayerfully, it served someone. I know that it did. I trust in the way spirit guides me and moves me. Do y'all see this shit? It's not that hard. But yeah. You're passionate enough and you can do it. And it's a choice. It's passive, but then it's also proactive, and you got to measure how you mapping that shit out. Thank y'all so much. Oh shit, this phone probably does all types of dumb background noise. But thank y'all for joining. We're ending 10 minutes early. I love it here. I love y'all. I'm really excited about everything that the Butterfly Experience podcast and show has in store. And I know that, I hope y'all will watch me. I hope y'all gonna watch me on TV. Watch me on TV and watch my music career grow, because I see it all happening and I know it's great. Feel free to update me as your week goes on with, where your passion takes you. I'm excited for you. I believe in you, and thank you for being a part of the garden. This will be available on Spotify by 11 a.m. tomorrow. So feel free to tap back into it when you need, on your way to work, while you're cooking, while you're just chilling, meditating, whatever it is. It's for your healing more than it's for your entertainment. All right, butterflies. Fly high. Peace and love.